This is Terrence Andre Banks with Information Age Financial Solutions, coming to you again about the economy. Came across this article from Charles Smith, blogspot.com. Definitely worth your attention. Here we go again, our double bubble economy. Now, it's a lot of talk about the economy if you're on the internet space. But what I like about Charles Smith, he gives charts and he backs his research up by basically showing you proof. The bubble and assets, and I'm not saying other people don't, I'm just saying that he does a very good job of doing that. I've went to his website several times for worth your time to take a look at it and see a couple of his articles. It's definitely worth paying attention to. So let's dive right in. The bubble and assets are supported by the invisible bubble in greed, euphoria, and credulity. I may be mispronouncing the word there. Well, folks, here we go again. We have a double bubble economy in housing and stocks, and the third difficult to chart bubble in greed, euphoria, and credulity. Feast your eyes on the housing bubble number 2, aka the echo bubble. Now, if anybody, I've done some videos in the past about how we're like 2008 didn't exist, especially if you're anything in real estate. Here we go again, showing exactly where the housing bubble here reached and where we're at again. We almost looks like we're surpassing that, coming to a housing market near you. And this is based on S&P's Case-Shiller 20 City Composite Home Price Index. Here's the S&P 500 stock market index. No bubble here, we're told. Just a typical 9-year-long bull market that soared from a low in 2009 of 666 to a recent high of 2,802 in January of this year. I like the way he put that. Might not have done a great job reading it, but you'll get the point if you take a look at the article. I'll definitely put the link in the description. Top of previous bubble, 2000 peak, 1,565. They show you right here. No bubble here, just an average 9-year bull rate. And you see how it's bounced, drawn up here, and continue to go up, skyrocket. Here's the same view of the bubble in the Dow Jones Industrial Average, DJIA, 2009, where you had that collapse. Breakout was over here. And then here you go. There really isn't any other scripture other than a blow off top. Well put, Charles. Is anyone actually dumb enough not to recognize that these are bubbles? Of course not. Those proclaiming that these bubbles are not bubbles know full well they're bubbles, but their livelihoods depend on public denial in this reality. And so we're inundated with justification of bubble valuations neatly bound with statistical mumbo jumbo, forward earnings better every day in every way, PE, expansion, and all the rest of the usual blather that's spewed by status quo commentators and fund managers at the top of every bubble. The problem with bubbles is they always pop. The market runs out of greater fools or creditworthy borrowers, and so sellers overwhelm the thinning ranks of buyers. Those dancing euphorically, expecting music will never stop, are caught off guard despite their confidence that they are far too clever to be caught by surprise, and a panic-driven crowd clouds the narrow exit, leaving a ballroom of bag holders absorb the losses. The other problem with bubbles is that we become dependent on them as props holding up a rotten, corrupt status quo. Since the economy can no longer generate sufficient prosperity to go round via actual increases in productivity and efficiency, those skimming most of those gains rely on the wealth effect generated by expanding asset bubbles to create a dreamy illusion of prosperity. And that's, again, what you see with housing. Anything else, it gives the impression that people because these asset prices are jumped up dramatically, that the wealth effect is hopefully to get people to borrow again, not knowing that everything runs in cycles. And when we're in the second largest expansion in United States history. Each day that passes, we get further along, making the inevitable of a coming crash, which we're already really experiencing for a recession. But again, the perception is reality. And if you perceive that it's nothing really going on and this is just type talk, you're going to be in for a whirlwind of surprise. Here's the third consequence of bubbles. The gains flow to the very top of the wealth power pyramid. There is no other opposite possible output of the bubble, since roughly 80% of all assets are owned by the top tier of households, and the majority of financials are owned by the top 0.1%, 1/10 of 1%. Since only owners of assets reap gains from asset bubbles, only those who own assets benefit. That leaves out the bottom 90%. If we're honest with ourselves, now verbatim, the bottom 99.9%, despite the heady illusion at the apex of the bubble, the present housing and stock markets. The bubbles and assets are supported by the invisible bubble in greed, euphoria, and credulity. We believe what we believe will make us rich, what feeds our euphoric confidence that the bubble music will never stop, and our credulity that the bubbles will, which we know will pop, will not pop until we safely cashed out. Now, I couldn't put it any more clearer than this. Take a look at this article. If this video has been any value to you, please subscribe, leave some comments. Until my next video, I'm out.